Hey, all you baby boomers out there, I got a question for you. Have you had the talk yet with your kids? Have you had the talk with your brothers or your sisters? I'm speaking, of course, of the estate and will talk. You know, what you want to happen with all your stuff after you pass away? You know, I've been in this business over 10 years now, and I've yet to meet anybody that wants to have this conversation. In fact, quite often I hear people say the opposite. They'll say, "What do I care? Let them fight about it. I'll be dead." Well, I don't think that's true. I really think that most people would just lose their minds if they knew what was going to happen to their family after they passed away. All because of the fact that they didn't have that talk. You see, I bring this all up because it was in the papers again this week. Somebody that all of us might recognize. 6-time Canadian figure skating champion, Toller Cranston, who passed away sadly 6 years ago in 2015. His estate is in the news again. This time, his twin brothers were ordered by a judge to pay his sister $325,000 in legal fees. Yes, you heard that correctly. $325,000. Now, how did it ever come to this? Well, there's a whole lot of reasons, and I'll get into them, but the most important part you need to realize is Toller, when he passed away, had an estate worth $6.25 million and never had the talk with his brothers and his sisters. Toller passed away with no legal will, no living heirs other than his brothers and his sisters. So what ended up happening was a judge appointed his sister Philippa as the executor, or estate trustee as it's sometimes called. And it was her job to go to Mexico, where he was living, had been living, and box up all of his worldly goods, which included, for the record, over 300 different paintings of various values. She had to box all this up, and she had to find buyers for everything. Now just imagine that for a second. Imagine you weren't ever planning to be an estate executive or executor for your brother, but no one else signed up to do it, and he didn't ask anyone. So now you're going to Mexico to do it for him, and you have to figure out the value of over 300 paintings and who's supposed to buy them and for how much. I can't imagine the stress that would cause. But that is what happened. And so his sister had to go down there and do this, but her twin brothers, they didn't approve. Even though they weren't the actual executors themselves, they didn't approve of the way that their sister was handling things. And so they decided to sue her for fraud in the courts. And they had over 100 different charges that they trumped up against their sister. So this all, of course, went through legal proceedings, and it was just recently awarded. The judge found that of the over 100 different charges that they had made against their sister, only 5 of them had any validity whatsoever. They found it totally in her favor and not in the twin brothers, and awarded her $325,000 in legal fees that the twin brothers have to pay. Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that even though I don't know the Cranston family, I'm going to guess that they won't be speaking to one another again anytime soon. In fact, they may never forgive each other for this. And all of these things happened because Toller didn't prepare a will and he didn't have the talk. Just imagine for a second now, if he'd sat his brothers and his sister down and say, "Hey, guys, this is a really uncomfortable conversation I need to have, but we need to have it. I don't have any living heirs other than you, and I want you to know that if anything ever happens to me, this is what I want you to do with my properties. This is what I want you to do with my 300 plus paintings." Imagine how much smoother things could have gone. But instead, this family is irreparably damaged. And it's sad. And I don't want this to happen to you. I don't want this to happen to any family. There's no guarantees that it won't, but I can promise you that you can eliminate a number of arguments by simply sitting down with your family and having this very, very important conversation with them. If you have questions, or if you need a mediator, give me a call. Maybe I can help. Who knows? Again, This has been a Retirement and an Estate Planning Minute by Matt Graham. I hope you all are doing great. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.